You know who I am?
Anything you say. Anything you say.
It's official.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, there wasn't anything major news in news this past week. You know, all the Democrat judges trying to stop Trump from, doing an audit over the three-lettered government offices, and it's not working. He has a right to do that, even if he appoints Elon to do it for him, to look into it for him. So they can't stop him. All the judges are being revoked. They're nonsense trying to block him. It's backfiring on him. But that's the only thing major I saw going on. It's been going on for a little bit now. But I would have gotten to this, what I wanted to talk to you about this week. I wanted to talk to you about it last week, but the movie didn't come out till Thursday, so I had to wait to be able to post a review on it this week, because I did go ahead and watch it. But there are so many bad reviews of this movie. It's not even funny. It's probably the worst of the worst. Although I think Marvel's was 10 times worse. Madam Web was worse. The Acolyte was worse. I just think there was so much worse than this one. This one was bad. Don't get me wrong. It was not good at all. But there were others that were just way worse. In my opinion. So I watched Captain America, or Black Captain America, Brave New World, whatever you want to call it. It was originally called the New World Order, but they realized it really made them look bad, so they changed it to Brave New World. Now, there were tons of rewrites of this movie, because they were putting a lot of political BS in it that was completely wrong. It was just slandering Trump and white people. So they had to rewrite a bunch of it, reshoot a bunch of it, because it was far more racist than it is now. Far more. There was so many racist quotes in there, it's not even funny. Plus, Harrison Ford, who was playing the president, is a reflection of Trump, and it was 10 times worse what they were making it out to him to be, like Trump and being terrible. It was way worse. The guy who directed the movie, he's a black guy. And he's one of them black liberals who just does what the Democrat Party wants him to do, and he's very racist towards white people. So, yeah, it wasn't surprising. And a lot of your media outlets, they were calling the Hulk Orange Hulk instead of Red Hulk. That he looked orange. You know, Orange Man bad. That was the joke reference. It was stupid. There, like I said, there was a shit ton of this movie that was absolutely wrong. They also did the thing where they thought if they kept repeating shit in the movie, that the audience would get it, because they need to tell the audience, you know, what's going on 100 times. Like the audience is dumb. For instance, they kept going on and on about why, you know, Sam Wilson didn't take the, you know, the super soldier serum. You know, they had to try to explain that like 50 times in the movie. It was just ridiculous. And they tried to make a joke out of it, why he didn't take it and he should have, and blah blah blah, and it was just dumb. There's one of the reasons why they did a lot of reshooting with the fight scene between Red Hulk and Sam Wilson, which I still consider the Falcon. I don't consider him Captain America because he's not. He's not Steve Rogers, as Harrison Ford said in the movie. But one of the reasons why they kept reshooting that is because, honestly, there were so many times in that fight scene that Sam Wilson should have been dead. I mean, there's no way he's going to stand up to, you know, the a Hulk, because he has no superpowers. I don't care if that shit with his wings is made of vibranium or not. It's not going to withstand a Hulk. So that whole fight scene was just dumb. It does have a touch of wokeism or feminism in it. They brung in this little woman who's like 4'11", and she's a super boss bitch. You know, she's beating the shit out of all these guys that are 10 times her size. And then, now I didn't know this. I saw a different channel that explained this, but apparently she's actually supposed to be like, I mean, she does explain in the movie that she used to work for Israel in IDF, Israeli Defense Force. But she, in the comics, she's a character that has like this Captain Israel costume or some shit. And she's a mutant, apparently. But she doesn't, they didn't make her that way in this movie. Her mutant powers in her suit, she doesn't have that. They just made her a boss bitch, is what they did. 4'11", just kicking everybody's ass. Fucking feminism. Fuck feminism. Dumbest, evilest cult in our entire world history. Anyways, apparently I don't know who this character is, but apparently they did Sidewinder wrong too. The main mercenary, they put that old black man. Why? The old ass black man. And he's supposed to play the Sidewinder character. Apparently he doesn't look anything like him from the comics. They totally ruined the leader. He's not even really like that. They changed his look completely. it's just they just did so much BS in this movie. And Harrison Ford, just, you could tell he just was there to collect a paycheck. He didn't even want to be in this movie. He didn't even play the character right. It's just, he's not General Ross. It didn't work. And then, of course, we have to have a conflict with Japan, of all people, instead of the real enemy, which we all know who that is. They would put it in there because they want to make sales over there in China, so they didn't put the real enemy in there. I don't know. And then they have to, like, unless you've seen like the Eternals and Winter Soldier series and all that crap, you don't know what's really going. You don't realize that some of these characters or what's really going on, the backstory, some of this crap. And then to bring in that, which is a new character they introduced in the Marvel comics, that Isaac, whatever, the Tuskegee Man experiment or whatever, the black guy. And then they're calling him the first Captain America. Get the fuck out of here with that racist crap. But yeah, that character doesn't exist except for in the very new Marvel comics. I'm tired of them throwing in the new Marvel characters from their new comics, woke crap into these movies. It's just dumb. Stop doing that. Tell the original stories. Jeez, so dumb. Anyways, 2 thumbs down. I'm telling you now, you don't need to waste your time on this movie, and you can watch other reviews because there's a buttload of them and nobody agrees. One thing that really irritates me is some of these YouTubers, they want to use Rotten Tomatoes for critics and audience score, but you can't. It's been proven over and over that they skewer their numbers, they lie, on their website. You can't use it, because I've seen 100 times where the audience absolutely hates the movie, but then they put the audience score at like 100%, and you're like, bullshit. The vast majority of YouTubers and shit have literally put out videos that they can't stand the movie. And it's ridiculous. But anyways, the movie's a failure. Don't waste your time. Let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Alright, Movieholics, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. This week is Horror Week. Now, we're going to finish up on, some sci-fi horror. Now, understand that sci-fi, fantasy, and horror can be kind of intermixed. You can have dark fantasy, that kind of shit too. Um, which is like werewolves, vampires, that kind of stuff. So they're interchangeable almost. For example, Alien, the Alien franchise, that's sci-fi horror, but it's I think it's more horror than sci-fi. Some may differ with me on that, but you get what I'm saying. And there's usually typical a couple of sci-fi movies that I consider more horror, like invasion movies. Maybe they don't know what that creature is that's killing everybody in the group. And then, you have your alien abduction movies, that kind. You get what I'm saying. It's more horror to me than anything. Invasion movies are a dime a dozen. So we're going with the third Xtro. Finishing up that series this week. The third one's called Watch the Skies. And it was done in 1995. It went directly to video, so there's no box office numbers. Now, it stars Sal Landy and Karen Monariff. Hope that's how you pronounce her name. But anyway, a couple of no names, really. You had two decent B-rated actors in this movie, which was kind of surprising that they would do something like this, but whatever. Robert Culp and Andrew Divoff. I was kind of surprised to see them in this. Although Robert doesn't have a huge part, he's in it maybe 5 minutes. Andrew has a little bit of a bigger part in it. He plays the captain, which probably, if you've ever seen the Wishmaster movies, you'd recognize him. He plays the Wishmaster in the Wishmaster movies. Anyways, the story is, which makes no sense. At some point in time in the 1950s, a spaceship landed on this island near Japan, and the U.S. government went in there to find out what was going on and see if they could retrieve the spaceship. But instead, what they did was they found a couple of aliens that were still alive, and they dissected one, killed the baby and the so-called alien that was carrying him. And then the other alien was kept in a cage and saw what was going on.
You know who I am?
And enraged, he started killing everybody on the island. The U.S. pulled out after they enclosed the alien in the spaceship in this giant block of concrete, because they figured that's the only way to stop it. Because they tried all kinds of weapons on it and it didn't work. Didn't kill it. Well, move up to like present day. For whatever reason, they want to go back to the island and try to retrieve the spaceship again. Made no sense, but whatever. So they picked a handful of Marines, which are supposed to be like the worst of the worst Marines they could find, because they were basically cannon fodder for the alien. So the actual team, led by the captain, to go in there and grab the tech from the spaceship. Well, that didn't work out so well. The alien they thought was dead is still alive, and he comes out and he starts killing everybody. The government decides to cover it up again and orders the captain to bring in his team and kill everybody who's left and get whatever tech he can and then leave the island. Well, that doesn't work either. The alien kills his team as well, and him. Well, not him. The main guy, the lieutenant, he kills him. Kills the captain. The alien leaves the lieutenant alone. He's the last one left. Apparently one of his group had a tape recorder on him and was recording everything. So he goes back to the States, gets in touch with this reporter, and tries to give her the story so she can print it. Well, then the government shows up, arrests him, and throws him in an insane asylum. And that's the end of the movie. The alien got away in his ship. I mean, at the end it shows the ship blow up the concrete building or whatever it's encased in and then fly off. And I'm like, what the... So he could have done that the entire time. For 50 years he could have done that. Whatever. That was kind of stupid. This movie was dumber than a box of rock. It was dumb for B movies. I'm 2 thumbs down. You don't need to watch this, even if you are watching Z. Like the second one, I didn't care for either. The first one was strange, bizarre, but it's at least for a one-time watch, it's worth it. But this one here, again, 2 thumbs down. Don't waste your time. It was terrible movie. And the guys who played the soldiers couldn't even act like actual Marines in the movie. They were just doing random crap that made no sense. They weren't, you could tell they weren't soldiers. It was dumb. Alright. The next movie I watched, and the reason I watched this movie is because I'm working on the 1988 series of War of the Worlds. I'm watching it. I haven't watched it all. There's only 2 seasons. I'm almost done with the first season. But I'm watching that series, and I figured I'd go ahead and watch the movie it's based off of, which is the 1953 classic War of the Worlds. It made about $2 million worldwide. It stars Gene Barry and Ann Robinson. It's basically your typical alien invasion movie. Aliens come down, they start destroying crap, trying to annihilate the human race. But for whatever reason, they're not used to the bacteria or viruses on our planet, and supposedly it starts killing them off. Now they say that, but the series I'm working on, it says that it just put them in like a dormant state, like a hibernation or whatever. The movie though, for whatever reason, the aliens work in 3. They have one scene where it shows their eye, and it's made into three. They got 3 fingers. Their machines, they have this one scene where it shows this machine looking in this building where the man and the woman's hiding, and it has like this robotic eye that's set in 3 colors, like red, blue, and green. Everything's done in 3s. Even their little, I'm not sure if you call them flying saucers, but they're like war machines, that gravity war machines that they kind of fly, sort of, but they're also in 3s. They have 2 lasers on the bottom, and then the third main laser, the eye, it's in 3. So everything's in 3 for the aliens. Us as humans, we couldn't destroy them because they had these shields. We couldn't penetrate their shields, even with an atomic weapon. Nothing worked until the virus caught up to them, or the bacteria. And then that's pretty much the end of the movie. That's what ends the aliens, after they destroyed a bunch of crap. This is the classic invasion movie. I give it 2 thumbs up. It was pretty good for what it was. And to be honest, the graphics on it was actually pretty decent for 1953. The graphics actually look pretty good. Give it you gotta give it, if you're into sci-fi, you gotta give it at least a one-time watch. Even if it's the fact that it's an older movie, it's actually pretty good. 2 thumbs up. Give it a watch. That's all I have for you this week. If you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. If you can think of any underrated or movies you think I may never even have heard of or seen before, some B-rated shit, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below. I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.